So as you think about a producing branch manager, arguably one of the toughest, if not the toughest role in the mortgage business, right? I mean, you've committed to building your own book of business, which in a market like this is hard enough by itself, but then also making yourself available to help others, to mentor and to grow their business. So when you think about recruiting on top of that, like how much time do you think a branch manager should spend, if you have a rule of thumb, engaged in recruiting, and then what does that look like? Because I'll tell you, we just had a call with all the branch managers today, and one of the things that I think about is, to me, it's as important that you are a branch manager that is welcoming, like you're open, you want to help and mentor people as much as it is finding the people, right? Finding the people is one thing, but once they meet you, them going, man, I could see where if I plugged into this branch with this manager, my business would grow, right? That's what ultimately loan officers are looking for is, I don't need to make a move, but if I can make a move and take my business to the next level, because now I have leadership and mentorship and even someone who is a top producer that I can emulate, that's, I think, attractive to loan officers, especially those that might be struggling in the environment they're in today. So when you're talking to your branch managers, what is the expectation as far as how much time they should spend recruiting? Is it really more like you guys do the heavy lifting on recruiting and you just want them to be ready when an opportunity comes, or are they dedicating some of their time? Like, what's your thoughts around this?
Yeah, I mean, me and Greg do a lot of the heavy lifting. We do want our branch managers to dedicate some time to it, but we also want that mindset to where they're always kind of thinking about recruiting as far as when they're going out to the events, like I said, and just kind of meeting people and getting to know people and then giving us a name and number or doing a warm introduction to us and let us take it from there. But, we do want them looking and, going through top 100 lists, making some type of cold call so that they get comfortable with the process. So we kind of have a process as far as whether we use LinkedIn or, getting our list and making calls and kind of how we walk through the recruiting process. Craig is he's very regimented in his recruiting process. And so we follow it pretty much to a T, and it's done us very well. But yeah, as far as we don't have like a weekly time commitment that we ask them to do, but we ask them that, on a monthly basis that they're at least making some calls, to people that they don't know outside of their network. And then the other thing is, we also tell them, call your people. Most of your people have worked at other mortgage companies. Just call them up. Hey, you're happy, right? Who do you know? I know you know other people. Make me an introduction. If you could take 5-10 minutes out of your week and make a call to a loan officer that is, good at what they do, you think would be a good fit here at NAF, and see if they'd be willing to just have a conversation with me, and that's the easy stuff right there. And if they can do that, you can start to get people interested and create a list of people that you can eventually bring to the company.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think that, some, producing branch managers have to focus on their production first, right? I mean, they're that's where they make the majority of their income. And I think some people want to be a branch manager and they don't realize the amount of effort maybe necessary in order to help other loan officers. I do the math for them often. It's like, if you're making X amount of override, just think about how many transactions you need somebody else to do during the time it would have taken you to do one transaction. And it's got to be something you're passionate about, and I think that people can feel that. And so being a branch manager isn't for everybody. I think a lot of people just think it's like the next logical step in their career. And I often tell people, maybe not, sometimes just building a big production team is going to be more, rewarding. Maybe for many people, that's the next logical step, but they just think the manager, I don't know if it's just the manager thing in their title or what, but it's definitely not for everybody. But, as a regional VP, you spend a lot of time with the branch managers, and it's really kind of your job, to help support them and get them to the next level. And if we're going to grow as an organization, yeah, you can open new branches, but backfilling scaling and helping the branches that are already successful is definitely part of that equation. And you guys do a really good job at that. You both, you and Craig, are really good, I feel like, about building the culture within, a region. And it is important, that exists.